In the corner of a quiet room, there sat a clock. It wasn't a loud clock. It wasn't a fancy clock. It was round, white, with black numbers, ticking, softly, steadily. The clock had been hanging there for 7 years, for months, and 11 days. Possibly longer, depending on how you count leap years. It was purchased from a department store that no longer existed on a cloudy Tuesday afternoon. There was a small discount that day, 10% off, but only on wall clocks. It was chosen not for beauty, but because it was simple. That's what the man had said when he bought it. It's simple. And he was right. The clock ticked, and ticked, and ticked. Its hands moved without any excitement. The second hand swept with the sort of energy one might call acceptable, not energetic, not tired, just acceptable. Every hour, the minute hand made its silent journey around the face, from 12 to 1, then to 2, then again, and again, and again. It never complained. Once, the clock was slightly adjusted. It had fallen behind by about 2 minutes. The man who owned it noticed. He stood on a small stool, turned the dial, and brought it back in sync. This happened on a Wednesday. The weather was described as mild. He had toast that morning, with butter. After that, the clock resumed ticking. In the same room was a chair. The chair faced the clock, though not deliberately. It had just ended up that way. The chair was greyish, or maybe beige. Some colours are difficult to name when they don't stand out. The chair had been satin, often, not constantly, just enough to be slightly worn. One of its legs creaked, quietly, not every time. Only sometimes, especially when someone leaned to the left. No one knew why. The clock and the chair had no opinions about each other. Sometimes a window in the room would be open. On those days, the breeze might make a soft sound. Not a whistle, not a howl, just a HHMMM sort of sound. If the curtain moved, it did so slowly, like a tired sigh. The light in the room was generally soft. Not dim, not bright. It existed, like most light does. In the mornings, it would filter through the window and land near the chair. In the evenings, it would fade. The clock continued ticking. One morning, a fly entered the room. It buzzed for a while. Then it landed on the wall near the clock. It stayed there for several minutes. Then it left. No one noticed. The clock did not stop ticking. On Sundays, the man who owned the clock sometimes dusted. He used a cloth that was technically blue, but more of a faded blue. Almost grey, the cloth smelled faintly of lemon. Or maybe old lemon. Dusting took around 12 minutes, depending on how focused he was. When he reached the clock, he would wipe around the rim. Once, he wiped too hard and tilted it slightly. He stared at the slant for 17 seconds. Then he corrected it. It returned to its proper position. The ticking did not change. Time passed slowly, predictably, evenly. Seasons,